Let's see our first little live jostle with the YouTube zone. I'm Yehoshua Werth, and we are live at the Grapevine. This is the Kosher Spirit Review. At the edge of my arm is a neat glass. At the edge of my other arm are these beautiful spirits. We'll start off with the Riazul from Mexico. We're not tasting those phones. No, not happening. All right. And then we're at Greensmith's American Gin. This is a wheat base, all organic distillate from Brooklyn. Then we're moving on to Scotland. This is Deanston Virgin Oak. Deanston 12 year. By the way, all unchill filtered. 46.3 is their moniker for their alcohol level they like to hang out at, which means it's not boring. Deanston 18 year. This is an interesting project. It started and refinished in a fresh bourbon barrel. And I've been a fan of that for quite some time. You want bigger, bolder, richer, and fresher? It's a way to go. Moving on to the Islay zone. This is Bunnahabhain. And this is an Islay whiskey. See that? Islay? So Islay does things traditionally in the way that most of the Scottish peninsula, or not peninsula, but the island has been making their whiskey at, which is doing peated malt. That's barley, for the people wondering what malt even means. Malt only means barley in Scotland. You can have malted rye, you can have malted wheat, you can basically malt any grain. And at Glenmorangie, they even do a chocolate malting for their Signet series. A lot of people do some cool experiments. Over here we have Angostura. These are rums from Trinidad. You got to pronounce that correctly. You can't say Trinidad. It's not like your father. And this is also Tobago. So Trinidad, also known as a rum zone from the Caribbean, 1824. We're going to pass the camera around to my partner here, and we're going to get started. There we go. Shalom Aleichem, ma'am. We don't edit any videos, so we're going to say hello to someone walking in. Ma'am, how are you? How can we help you today?
How are you? Yeah, do you carry the bag for wine, like when you go for shops?
You just need a couple bags?
No. Nice one.
No. We do hand wraps with silver foils, and we have some other paper bags with like a little cool roping and things like that. And we have some plastic ones for travel when you go flying.
Yeah.
Those are the bubbles.
So,
but nothing with any like cool zippers or funky little stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. I had one, I lost it, so okay.
You should find it soon.
Yes.
All right. Love to you and your family. We're starting off with the Riazul. And by the way, just a little prop here. It's coming Sunday. The Kosher Wine Expo. 10 distilleries, 75 wineries, 6 restaurants, and an airplane museum. www.kosherwineexpo.com. This is the standard do not drink soap, towels, or otherwise previously drank material. You must rinse the glass. This is a plata, also known as silver, also known as blanco, also known as, it's a variant of the agave distillate, also known as a raw agave distillate. Proof down at 40% alcohol. Pretty highly rated tequila, so let's give this a smell. Right. So when you're not smelling chemicals or corks, you actually smell the fruit, the plata, the pineapple, the piña, however you want to call it, then you know at least you've got some potential to taste something good. Got some spice. Now, do I want to call it jalapeno? Do I want to call it black pepper? More of a black pepper than a jalapeno. There's no real jalapeno oil going on in here, but some black pepper. It's got some spice going on, and I mean active, fresh ground. None of this like been sitting in your cabinet for 4 years, and you put on. You're like, how come my food didn't gain any spice? Let's give this a taste. Baruch atah Adonai melech haolam she'akol nהיה bidvaro. Well, clean, neat, softer. Only mild spice in the back here. Some lime tones. Kind of like, let's use the metaphor of pineapple. Kind of like on the green side is what I'll call it. You know, not as heavy on the citrus or sweet. A little bit of cream coming through on the finish. Decent elongation, we'll call it length of flavor coming through. And not heavy alcohol. That's a good start of the day. Riazul. Agave azul, 100%. And what does that mean? It means it's not mixto. What's mixto? Google it. Moving on. Green Hook, Ginsmiths, organic, from Brooklyn. 47% alcohol, aka 94 proof. Let's rinse the glass. Let's give everybody a look at that. Distilled from organic wheat. The resurgence of spirits from the New York area has been exponential, has been really large. A lot of really nice distilleries around the New York area. If you're native to New York or you're traveling to New York, you want a distillery experience, people can give it to you. There's some really cool things going on. Don't be shy to ask around. You go to a bar, ask them. You go to a magazine shop, ask where the craft magazines are to go pick that up. If you're in a synagogue, ask your buddy where he drove over to have a distillery tour. All right, let's give this a smell. Oh, that's cool. Some gins, which are juniper-based in tradition, are what's called dry gins or London gins. Some are very New World gins. This is, I'd call it middle ground. It's not like fruity, heavy herbaceous, and it's not ultra over-spirited, and it's not like juniper, like, you know, slapping you across the head going, I'm gin. No, this has got a nice, balance to it when you're drinking stuff. It says here, Italian juniper, wild-crafted, organic coriander, organic chamomile, organic Pacific Coast elderflower. Elderflower, there is a very popular liqueur on the market, a couple of them on the market right now. Elderberries, but it's Pacific Coast. Hand-zested Floridian orange. Zesting. Cut out the fruit, shave off the surrounding of it, or the clepa or a kale or a chamber outside, and you squeeze that and you pull the oils down. That's zesting. Why do they do that on drinks? Try it, you'll understand. Changes the whole flavor of everything. Then we have here, let's see, chamomile, lemon peel, organic Ceylon cinnamon, organic galangal, blue ginger, and Tuscan orris root. Now, look all these up. All different flavor profiles, all interesting. Why did they choose them? Why is he using a different type of still here? You know, you need to learn about these people. So look them up. This is my first time tasting Green Hook Ginsmiths, so I don't know a lot about them. Steve D'Angelo. Look them up. You get the berries, but the herbs and root, really, like, you get that root. Anybody dug like tubers out of the ground, like the Africans do with those sticks? They dig them out of the ground. Super cool. Like, you know, and I'm not just talking sweet potato or potatoes here. Roots. Let's give this a taste. Okay, that is amazingly clean for 94 proof. That's got a gorgeous flavor. Again, second one in a row where the alcohol is tame for where the proofing is. 94 proof. Nice residual flavor. You get more of the floral aspect on the finish. Even like a little lavender tone, even though it's not in there, but it's kind of crossbreeding into that. It kind of develops there. You're getting that oil, citrus, but not heavy. It's a good balanced gin. All right, Green Hook Ginsmiths Gin from Brooklyn. Let's move on here. Decent Virgin Oak. one of the most popular spirits right now on the market due to its price point. I mean, these are not expensive. These are like, what, $35 max on the shelf, something like that? I mean, that's great for a single malt Scotch that is unchill filtered, 46.3% alcohol in a virgin wood aging situation. I mean, that's pretty amazing, actually. When you think about some of these barrels, when they're new, you know, could be like between $500 and $1,200 or $1,500. So it's been used once, and then they load this whiskey up, and then they finish it in a new wood. I mean, that's expensive to do. So let's give this a taste and describe it for everybody. What do they say? I'm not going to read what it's supposed to taste like, because the whole back is flavor profile. We're not going to do that. And it says local ingredients as well, so you're supporting some family business stuff. Deanston, Virgin Oak. Let's give this a taste. Don't be afraid of less expensive items. If someone doesn't have an advertising budget of $1 trillion, doesn't mean their product's not good. Hint, hint. Oh yeah, kind of like waxy nuts. You really get the barley. I love that. Anyone had some like sourdough barley bread or wow, that's good. No big alcohol blast for, you know, 92.3 proof. Clean, creamy, maybe some blood orange going on in there. Let's give this a taste. So this one you feel a little bit of the power, but the flavor's good. A little more like carameled blood orange with a kind of like you walk in a sawmill, a little dust around, guys chewing on some nuts and some like almost toffee candies, but not quite going all the way there. Maybe some apple too. Some cool apple. Again, I did not read the back of that label. Let's see here. Candied fruits, vanilla, soft creamy toffee, ginger clove, a little bit of ginger, okay. Finished spices, yep. Honeyed malt, there's the sweetness. Citrus, okay. Feel good about that. I mean, he's the guy that made the juice. That's pretty cool. Moving on. Deanston 12. A lot more time in the barrel than this first one, but not re-barreled in a virgin oak. Proof is still up at 46.3. This is the 12-year. Again, we're not going to read that label. If you read the label, you're cheating. Do a blind tasting. Wrap your stuff in bags. Share it with friends. Pour $30 whiskey next to $150 whiskey. I'm not trying to take away from there's not great $150 whiskeys. I'm just trying to emphasize there's really good $30 whiskeys. Okay. Deanston 12's around $50. 45 to 60 depending on where you're going. And let's give this a smell. Oh, much deeper, richer, fuller, and softer at the same time. Aging can either tame a whiskey or overwood it. You have a choice on when you decide to pull it out of the barrel. Who is that guy? It's just a beautiful caramel nut action that's like much more rich and deep. What do you mean? It means when you give it a whiff, the tone of the whiskey itself and or rum and or anything has, I guess, more of what I would call resonance. It's like here. It's right here instead of, okay, it smells nice and kind of floats off. Like some candied pecans. I mean, yeah, totally candied pecans. All right, let's give this a taste. Okay, I need to recommend this more. I know I tell people about this, but if you can handle that little bit of spice on the back side and the fullness of a whiskey, for a 12-year, this is solid. It's got beautiful flavor. A little more, the citrus is a little tamer. The toffee's a little fuller, but that kind of just candied pecan thing going on. That's good whiskey. All right, moving on. Deanson 18, refinished in bourbon barrels, just like the first one's refinished in virgin oak. What does that mean? I'm going to rinse that, as goofy as that is. What does it mean? It means that a first fill young whiskey, once you pass a certain point of time, the sugars stop giving over in the value or level from the wood. So what they did here is they tricked it. There's actually a Pritchard's bourbon where they do a little trick like this too. They loaded up the Deanson 18 in a bourbon barrel. Then once it reaches past a certain point, they reload it for that last bit of time to give that fresh little kind of punch of flavor and fullness and richness from that bourbon barrel. Let's give this a smell. That's just pretty. That's just pretty. Hi, how are you today? Nice to see you. It's almost like this kind of floral, candy, beautiful, sweet vanilla. Yeah, this is like a meal right here. Okay, mature man's whiskey. Really clean on the back end with a lot of richness, even darker toffee notes, more darker candied nuts. Vanilla is extreme, but like balanced the way it hits, like full. And the finish is going and going and going and going and going and going and going. Wow. Oh, now this lingering spice action. Okay, this is a serious whiskey. I've always liked this whiskey. This is great. Wow, the spice coming through the finish. Like a good Moroccan salmon, the way it kind of lingers about. Ma'am, how are you today? Nice to see you.
I'm good.
Anything we help you find today?
I'm looking for
Cooking, drinking,
cooking,
and what are you making?
chicken, and also in a potato recipe.
Chicken and a potato recipe. Good. Okay. So whoever recommends you Cabernet for that recipe, just don't. Will you follow me for a minute? So Carignan, or actually a Carmenere, will work really good for that. And chicken recipe. Try that.
Is it white?
No, you said white?
Yeah, white.
Fine. So white. Let me give you a Spanish wine. This one is Mesebio and Muscatel. These are interesting grapes, actually. That'll work really well with the potato dish, especially.
And how about chicken?
Chicken, it's gonna work great, but the potato will even work better.
Got it. I'll take that.
Anything else, ma'am?
No, that's it.
Give your ID, please. Perfect. Fantastic. Looks human. Good stuff. Not showing the camera that one. Okay. Let's get this for you, and then we're going to finish it with some Scotch tasting. Put a flyer in your bag for a beautiful food and wine experience coming up. Kosher Wine Expo. We have like 6 restaurants and about 300 wines open in an airplane museum.
Okay, sounds good. Can
$11.91.
give your credit card? Or
Yeah. Here, I'll just I'll read it. Yeah. Thank you.
It's being recorded.
Exactly. We're not going to announce your credit card because otherwise we'd have to send you all out some whiskey on this young lady.
My husband thinks I was thinking a lot.
Yeah, that would be a little bit strange, right? And the code's in the front with these cards.
Yeah.
And we're all set. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Love to you and your family. Have a blessed and beautiful week. Have any questions, sir? I've seen your ID before. I think we're okay. Here, ma'am. Oh, very good.
Fine? We're good?
No, we're good. Love to you and your family. It's a nice blend, right? Can you imagine drinking that? Tequila, rum, gin, Scotch all put together. It's like it's better than a bar shot, right? You know, bar mat shot. End of the night, you just tilt the thing down.
I'll watch you do it.
We're not doing that. Not doing that. Not going to happen. 11.91 cents. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you, sir. Just for our little wine expo coming up. It's a little, but it's being silly. And I love you and your
I
family.
may have heard of it.
Yeah. All the best. Love to you and your family.
Thank you.
An amazing week. All right, we're going to finish off with the Bunnahabhain and some rum. This is an unchill filtered Bunnahabhain. This is 46%, also 92 proof, unchill filtered. This is Tochchacht, or Tochkach, which means smoky in Gaelic. This is an unaged statement, or NV, non-vintage. Have you ever had their whiskey before? The 12-year is a very popular whiskey. The 18 is an over-the-top, rockin', deep, sherry. Proof is also up just a little bit. But this is their little special edition job, and let's check this out. Okay. Anyone who says ashtray, I'm sorry, it's just not. Why do people do that? I mean, it's smoky. It has that earthy, rooty, mud kind of smoked up through the ground feel. But there's other brands on the market that are much more power-oriented like that. Bunnahabhain's more like kind of middle zone. Everything, you'll taste the smoke, but it's not like in your face. If you want that in your face, go with Lafroig, go with Talisker, go with Ardbeg, Tequila. This is a little bit more tame, a little more romantic, I'll call it. Even a little musky and a little bit of like dark orchid tones versus just the smoke up front. I mean, you get that. And of course, by the beach with a bonfire, making the food. Let's see. Oh, funky. Wow. What's that Indian spice? A little stringy one. Funky. This is like total like Asian spice, orchid, kind of smoked Japanese meat kind of thing. Very interesting. With a little saffron, that's what it is. There's like, here, smell this behind the camera. It's like this little hint of saffron in there even. Okay, so if you're having some funky applewood smoked Japanese, Chinese, Asian flair, and or you're doing like Asian, even some like pad thais would work really well with this as an accompaniment. Don't just think wine when you're thinking food pairing, especially when you have a neat glass. I mean, did you catch like how mellow this is, by the way? You know, there's no fire in your nose at all. And then like when you do it in this, just get a little assertive here. Oh, you know what? That gin is so powerful you can't even go back in that glass. That's funny. Use hot water when following gin in a glass. All right. Another one I gotta recommend more often. Bunnahabhain. Not Bunnahabhain. Bunnahhabhain. Basically, it's a squizomological or a carpitupituation, words that need effort to speak. Moving on, Angostura. This is the rum from Trinidad. It says and Tobago. This is the 1919. This is the gold rum. This, I believe, is their standard shelf rum, yes? Or is it a little bit better style?
This is the 8-year age statement.
Okay, there you go, 8-year. So that battery's probably going to go in a minute. So let's taste through these. Beautiful 26. Sweet, sweet. Boy, in comparison to everything else here, this is like Sugar Blast. But that's rum, it's from sugarcane. And these are molasses distillates, which is a byproduct of making sugar cane. There are all cane distillates, mostly from Martinique and Guadeloupe. This is from Trinidad. Yeah, it's like a sweet, creamy candy with like the gooey, like almost like going into like a mild citrus caramel gooey filling. It's like a chewy one, real chewy. In fact, you know, it's saying like, "Hi, I'm made to pour inside of this candy, and you're gonna have a rum ball." I think like it's like talking that way. Anyways, let's give this a taste. It's a lot smoother than I thought it would be. How much is this on the shelf? Like $30 max? 25?
About that.
$30?
About 30 bucks.
That'll work. Highball drinks, anyone? Yes. It's better to use less of a higher quality drink than to use to more of a cheaper drink, because then all of a sudden everyone's getting drunk and they're not going to enjoy the flavor of anything, and that's just boring and lame. So by the way, we're going to finish this particular drink by rubbing a banana on the side. I wish I had a plátano that was cooked right now with the caking on it. It'd be so much better. This is a 12-year. Now, if you've ever had a 12-year-old bourbon, you know the potential heat exchange that happens in the South matures the whiskey much faster than in Scotland, to where you'd have a 15 or 18 that could have the same level of maturity. In the islands, if you notice, this is really dark for a bourbon barrel, like extremely dark. Why? The heat and humidity are ripping. A lot of wind, a lot of sea air, a lot of movement in the air. It's not a stagnant air zone. The Caribbean islands, we see all these hurricanes rolling through all these areas right now. Everyone should be safe. There's one rolled by Mexico right now in the south that's like huge, because of Category 4. Everyone should be safe. A time for everyone's safety. Let's give this a smell. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. They're truly like twins, but yet this is raw and this is polished. This is youthful and spunky and like excited. Shalom Aleichem, ma'am. Nice to see you. And this is definitely something my friend here would probably enjoy as well. It's a 12-year-old rum, and it smells really nice. Yeah. Trinidad.
Hello?
A little bit of citrus oil. Like super ultra buttery creamy. Brown sugar reduction. I mean, sweet, 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 sweet.
I can smell it jumping out of the glass over here.
My goodness. And yes, we're doing this on camera because I'm telling you, your mixed drink is right in my hands right now. Baruch atah Adonai, borei pri ha'adamah. Oh yeah. You bananas?
I do.
We're hooking our friend up here. Behind the camera, he's ready to go. Bananas and rum. Ladies and gentlemen, it works. It just works. It's fun. It's a playful drink. But by itself, don't be afraid of a screw cap, please. And you want to make a stunning mixed drink or a cake that's out of this world, or you want to sip something a little bit different. Oh, make a hot toddy with this. Oh my gosh, forget about it. Angostura rum, going backwards. This is the 1824 12 year, the 1919 8 year. The Bunaman Tak Kak. Interesting. Or Tachkak. The Deanston 18, the Deanston 12 year, the Deanston Virgin Oak, the Green Hook Gin Smiths, and the Riazul from Mexico. I'm Yehoshua Werth. We're live at the Grapevine, and this is the Kosher Spirit Review Live.